What is up, YouTube? It's Azelfs, and I am here with my week 1 of the TOL versus the Dublin Dunsparce, coached by Cam. I am very late on this, as you all know, but better late than never, I guess. I've tried to record this actually like 4 times before this, and I've been interrupted every time, and so I'm going to lose my shit if I get interrupted one more time. So hopefully this will work out a little better. But anyway, Cam's team is Kiram Black, Tapu Fini, Cobalion, Raikou, Lycanroc Dusk, Araquanid, Tsarina, Weezing, Palossand, Sigilyph, and Mega Houndoom. And so, first thing, you look at his team, you see Kiram Black, and you shit yourself. Then, after cleaning up the mess, you think, okay, how am I going to switch into this monster? You come up with your answers. Usually, you have like maybe 1 or 2 good switch-ins, but then you mostly have fast, powerful offense to kind of pressure it and not let it do much. Well, then you realize his team is pretty fast overall and has sticky webs to make you slower, so that strategy kind of goes out the window. But I think I've come up with something here that will work fairly well, and his team is pretty solid, I will say that. Araquanid is a great web setter. Tapu Fini is a great defensive mon. And he's got setup threats all over the place. But overall, I like this team that I built for him. First off, we've got a Spadef Mega Scizor. This is my primary switch to Kiram Black. It is one of the best in the game. And he'll probably have HP Fire. I almost guarantee it. But that logic applies to any mon that you try to switch in to Kiram Black. There's always a coverage option that it can run that it can destroy you with. But this is my best option, so we're going to go with it. It's a pretty standard set. The superpower is for Cobalion. The rest of the moves are kind of just almost mandatory on Scizor, at least Bullet Punch is. But it's just a nice pivot and glue mon for this team. It's pretty nice, I like it. Next, we have got a thick Conkelder with Assault Vest. Mach Punch, Thunder Punch, Drain Punch, Knockoff. This destroys his team. He does not have many fighting responses, and the ones that he does have, Conkelder has ways of getting around. This Spadef investment with the Assault Vest allows me to never be 2-hit KO'd by uninvested Moonblast from Tapu Fini after rocks. That is super bulky. So I will beat a Tapu Fini 1v1 because I will 2-hit KO it with Thunder Punch before it can 3-hit KO me with, well, okay, I actually take that back, but if there's a little bit of chip on it, then you get the idea. I still am able to handle Tapu Fini fairly well. That's all I guess I was going to say about that. Really, his fighting responses still get destroyed by Conkelder. Palossand gets knocked off, Weezing gets knocked off, and Weezing's way of dealing with fighting types really is burning them, but this is a Guts Conkelder, so good luck with that. Sigilyph destroyed by knockoff, and that's about it. A lot of his team, especially his faster stuff, like Lycanroc, Kiram, Cobalion, and Houndoom, that's all weak to Mach Punch. So this is an extremely important mon. Potential win con for me, depending on how the game goes, but at least a solid wall breaker at the very least. So, moving on, we have got Delmise with a Rocky Helmet, Power Whip, Earthquake, Knockoff, Synthesis. First, I'm going to say I wish that I ran Rapid Spin, but you'll see in the game. It actually didn't make that much of a difference, in all honesty, but I just think if I'm looking back at what still would have been better prep, Rapid Spin kind of still would have been better, but it doesn't actually end up mattering, so whatever. But this is kind of just my physically defensive answer to Lycanroc and Cobalion. It does give me the chip on Cobalion with Rocky Helmet that I need, because I don't believe it's OHKO'd by Mach Punch from Conkelder. It needs a little bit of chip, so this is my way to get that. Power Up and Earthquake hit a lot of his team pretty strong. I guess I threw Knockoff on there just to kind of punish Weezing from coming in a little bit. And Synthesis just for recovery. No reason to speed creep anything, really. I didn't think I gained anything from it, so just make it as bulky as possible. And no Steel Stab is really needed because I have Power Whip for Tapu Fini. And yeah, so the other half of the defensive core is Seismitoad. Spadef set with a Rindo Berry, Stealth Rock, Dual Stab, Sludge Bomb. Just kind of pressures his team alright, and is able to get up Stealth Rocks pretty reliably. That's what I was going to say. And I'm running Sludge Bomb over Sludge Wave just to potentially status him on, because I know he has Misty Terrain, but it's not always going to be up, and it would be big if I got a Poison off on Araquanid, or even like a Tapu Fini if the terrain ran out. And the 5-point power difference does not make enough of a difference compared to the 20% boost in Poison chance. This is basically like a Scald for poisons, so Sludge Bomb is a pretty good bring here, I think. Rundo Berry just to fend off any stray HP grasses that I believe Mega Houndoom will be packing, because this is my main Mega Houndoom answer. It's another reason that Conkeldurr needs to be so bulky, because Mega Houndoom is kind of a problem. It's definitely a big reason I didn't bring Latios. Tapu Fini is the other reason, really. Latios actually has a bad matchup this game. A lot of stuff either outspeeds it or lives hits from it. So, kept Lottie on the bench, unfortunately. But I digress. Moving on to my favorite set on this team, we've got Choice Scarf Clefable. Choice Scarf Clefable is able to outspeed his entire team except for absolute max speed Raikou and Mega Houndoom, which I don't think they'll run absolute max speed. I think they'll run enough speed to outspeed Latios, or Lycanroc, I should say. But I will still be able to outspeed them if that is the speed they are running. I mean, I guess good on them if they run absolute max speed predicting Scarf Clefable, but I don't think people predict Scarf Clefable. But Moonblast puts in a ton of work on his team, because his only resist is Weezing, which doesn't take special hits very well, and it definitely doesn't take a Psychic very well. Unaware is also a nice ability on this set, because Cobalion with Calm Mind could be a problem. Fire Blast is there to hit Cobalion a little harder if I need to, although Moonblast is still neutral and hits it pretty well. Healing Wish, just in case, it's probably going to be used for Conkeldurr, because Conkeldurr I can probably play, not Reckless, but I can let it take a hit with Assault Vest in order to stay in and kill something, and I can then Healing Wish that thing back up, and that would be really, really nice. Finally, we have got Lycanroc with a Life Orb, with Accelerock, Stone Edge, Drill Run, and Zen Headbutt. This is kind of just a nice general revenge killer / breaker versus his team. I didn't really know what to throw on this team, but it's a nice, easy way to revenge kill Kyurem without being overly reliant on Clef. I didn't think Latios was a good bring here, like I said, and Life Orb Lycanroc actually hits his team pretty hard. Because he only has 2 Mons that outspeed Lycanroc, and one of them is weak to Accelerock, so that's pretty nice. And I didn't need SD because I don't think I'd be able to set it up on this team, to be honest. I don't think anything on this team lets me set up Swords Dance. And the Zen Headbutt is nice for Weezing, which would otherwise be able to handle this Lycanroc set pretty well. So that is a team building segment. Let's go into the battle here. So we see that he did not bring Kyurem Black, which really surprised me. But instead, he brought Sigilyph, which, I mean, Sigilif's an alright mon, but I just did not expect him to not bring Kyurem Black. I didn't think my team was, like, that good against it, but I guess I could see it. Mega Scizor handles it, Latios Revenge kills it, Lycanroc Revenge kills it. I could see where he was coming from with that. Otherwise, he brought pretty much the exact team that I expected. So, again, forgive me, I haven't seen this battle in a little while, so if I forget something, you're going to live with it. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. So, we're going to lead off with our water types. He leads off with Araquanid, I lead off with Seismitoad, and I believe here I'm just going to get my Rocks turn 1, just because it's pretty free. I thought I would force him out, but actually he does have the Giga Drain, which now I'm very glad I have the Rundo Berry, because I'm still very healthy. I'm able to pivot into my Delmise, get a knockoff on that just to lower its damage output, and Liquidation is strong. But he's going to switch out here to Raikou, which I do actually... I kind of predict this. I actually predicted Cobalion because I think he expected a Power Whip or a knockoff. But either way, I predicted something weak to Earthquake coming in. I'm going to hit this thing with an Earthquake and almost completely destroy it. I stay in. To be perfectly honest, I forgot about Shadow Ball. I calced HP Ice and it didn't kill. but Shadow Ball did. I'm able to revenge kill it with Mach Punch, so that's not a problem. And this is going way too fast. I need to stop for a second. So you're going to see he's going to go for Psychic. And I'm going to find out after the game this was Magikarp Life Orb Psychic. And I am going to eat this up with my investment. And he's going to get destroyed by Knockoff. So Conkeldurr is already putting in the work that I expected it to. He goes into Tapu Fini, and I can't live a Moonblast, so I have to switch out into Scizor, which I believe he goes for the Moonblast, yes, and does lower special attack, obviously mattered here. I'm going to double out into Seismitoad. I don't know what exactly I expected. I think I might have expected Houndoom or Water Move, one of the two. I don't really remember. But he is going to taunt me here, as I'm just going to go for, what is it, the Sludge Bomb, I believe. Yeah, Sludge Bomb. I can't get a Poison, saying I'm not able to at KO, so that's unfortunate. So I go back into Scizor here, as he goes for the Leech Life. So that does nothing. So I'm going to be able to just Mega Evolve and U-turn, knocking out the Araquanid. I'm going to go into Seismitoad here, because I think it's able to 1v1 any Mon on this team at this point. So Cobalion is going to hit me with an all-out pummeling. I'm going to barely live, and I'm going to get a ton of damage off with Earth Power. That was important, and he's going to knock me out with Iron Head, but Seismitoad did its job, definitely. Scizor is going to come in here, live the close combat, and I'm going to Superpower to knock this thing out. And yeah, so what was I saying here? So he goes into Tapu Fini, so things are looking good here. I'm up 4-2, but I also acknowledge that my Conkeldurr is very low, and that is by big check to Houndoom. I think if he plays this smart and he predicts me right, Tapu Fini and Houndoom can still beat me. So at this point, I'm going to Bullet Punch just to get some damage off. He's going to Surf and knock me out. I didn't feel comfortable switching anything in directly. Here, I'm going to go Clefable, and as he goes Houndoom, I'm going to Healing Wish into the Conkeldurr, because I knew I needed Conkeldurr healthy to win this game. So here's where the mind games kind of come in. He is going to stay in here and Fire Blast as I Thunder Punch, predicting Tapu Fini. And he does get me here, as now I'm going to go for a Mach Punch, and he goes into Tapu Fini. But he is going to Moonblast. I'm going to live. I'm going to fire off a powerful Thunder Punch. But obviously I'm going to be outsped. I just go for Mach Punch to get a little more chip off before I go down to the Moonblast. So here we go here. Lycanroc should be able to clean up the game here. I click Stone Edge versus Tapu Fini. As long as it connects, I knock that out. And I click Accelerock versus the Houndoom, and I win there. But I click Accelerock here, and Tapu Fini lives and knocks out my Lycanroc. That was a horrible choke. My reason for that was, actually I forgot to mention this team builder, before I moved to the Life Orb, I originally had Choice Band, and I changed it to Life Orb like really last second, and at the time, I guess nerves just kind of made me forget that I changed it. I thought I was still Choice Band, and if I was Choice Band, that was 100% my play, to go for a Cellrock and just hope for a crit, because if I went for Stone Edge, then Houndoom guaranteed outsped me and knock me out with Dark Pulse, so there's no getting around it, though. That was a choke, and that was really bad. But I'm not too discouraged, because I know this was a very close game. And if I didn't choke, I would have won. Well, I had an 80% chance of winning, because I was going to be relying on Stone Edge hitting once. So I'm happy with how I played. I played a very close game versus a two-time champion in this league, so that's impressive enough as is. So GG Cam, that was a great way to open the season. It got me hyped for the season, even though the choke was really discouraging for a little bit, don't get me wrong, but I know I played well, so I'm not discouraged by it, and GG, that was awesome. So we are 0-1. But we're going to try to get back on the winning train. Wow, that didn't sound right. I didn't like that. Oh well.
I'm going to end the video there. If you guys like what the Oakland Azelfs are doing, make sure you like, subscribe, share, do what you do with the YouTube videos. I'm going to get on out of here and see you guys later.